Hello, I am live. Yay. Oh my God. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is my basically first live ever. Uh, so, hello, everybody. So, I'm not sure if people are going to join or not, but I will be doing a wisdom channeling session. Wisdom channeling intuitive guidance session on the topic of money. So, intuitive guidance is if anybody shows up, then I will be doing intuitive guidance. But the first half of the session will be wisdom channeling on topic of money. And money is just a broad topic. So it's more so about, so let's set a stage before we continue. And just for you to also prepare to receive the wisdom in a more efficient way, and myself to also be in that state of channel. Let's bring down all the energy, and I'll guide you for that, guide me for that, and we'll start the session and I will talk more about it. Just focus on your body right now. So basically, I think money is a very, very hot topic, right? Very hot topic. Really, as of right now, I feel there is a basically wave of kind of change, initiation, and change happening for a lot of people who are, understanding this money topic in a deeper way, in how, because money is also ruling their life in a sense that, it is in a way in our matrix. How money is used is in also survival sense. It's not just money. It's a survival sense in a way where you pay for your bills, pay for your home costs, pay for anything and everything that you are receiving in this physical matrix and 3D matrix, right? And so it's not just comfort level, it is also, needs level that we are receiving money. By the way, the beginning part of this session would be wisdom channeling, topic of money, and the second half, if I choose so, would be about intuitive guidance on any personal questions anyone would have had. So it is a heavy topic. It's not a lot talked about, right? Let's set an intention here for anybody watching later, and so it's not just me talking to myself in the camera. So the intention of the call is going to be any information that I need to, and any information that whoever is tuning in, the business creatives, people who are trying to receive money in different ways, different means, different forms. May the wisdom be guided for that and be received for where they are at. So, you know, everything has energy. Money also has energy, right? Like everything has energy. Money also has energy. And the energy of money basically is really defined by what was the energy present when you were delving with money before. Yeah, like your life circumstances, so your experiences in the life. How were you kind of, how was that experience and energy being received at that moment, right? Because it's not just money paper, really. And in a way, it is a means for us to receive like support for whatever, endeavors we're doing for our even survival level. It is a support for that. Even survival level is support for that. But it plays more than that as well. It's not just survival level where um, I feel there is certain aspects of our ego construct, and ego is not good or bad. Ego construct, which is, seeing it in a certain way and is actually using the money in a certain way. The ego construct meaning our identity, and that's not bad again. How we perceive ourselves, how other people perceive ourselves, or how money may affect how other people perceive, or money is like in a way in middle of how people may perceive you. In that sense, there is a societal, and there is a so many richer person, or so many ways the money is tied into, and what do I want to share else? So let's dive a little bit deeper on the topic of the money. Is just like more so understanding about the money, right? um, so let's dive more deeper in the topic of receiving money, because I think a lot of challenges is in the receiving of the money. And when we talk about receiving the money, a lot of problem happen about like really definition of the money, really. How we see or perceive money, how we perceive that, perceive us receiving money, or how it is playing a role in our life, or in our past experiences, how we see it, what is our relationship with money, is how we're going to receive the money as well. And I feel like it has kind of changed the way it is showing up in our life from past, like say, in basically in like uh, maybe 1980s. It was more about like, or survival level, like just needs level, um, and maybe a little bit more status level too. But right now, nowadays, it's like lifestyle also. And lifestyle also includes your needs. It doesn't it doesn't mean like, it's just in a way more so like it's supporting more of your lifestyle, more of lifestyle meaning how you want to also live your life, comfort level as well. It is kind of supporting us for that. And slowly and surely it is taking a lot of shapes in our life, in a sense that uh, or maybe we are, our identities have, most of the people's identities attached to receiving something from the outside, which money is just a means. It's just a means, but money plays a role, obviously, because it is a means in between. That means it plays a role, right? So let's dive deeper into the topic about really receiving money, or opening our channels to money and receiving more abundantly. And what comes to my mind is like, money is just one form of energy or resource that you can receive. And it is a tool that can be like a liquid asset. It can be exchanged for the value, for the goods, for the services that you're receiving in the outside. So it is basically a representation of a of a value representation of how much is worth, the value is worth, right? Like a liquid asset, but it's more so like representation of how much is worth. And but maybe there is some more assistance coming from the crow over there, because he's very, very resourceful. Spirit animal crow right there watching, or maybe listening. So it is basically a representation of a value or liquid asset, in that sense, where you can exchange value with it, right? And something that comes to my awareness, energetic field, is that the value, if it's a value exchange, when we are receiving money, we also exchange the value that we're giving, isn't it? Even if it's underneath an employer, we are just giving the value, and they're exchanging the value in terms of money, which you can use to buy or get your needs met. So it is, in a way, a value that you think you are giving or exchanging, in that sense, and you are receiving the value that they're giving and they're exchanging. So in a way, which I don't feel like saying, though my mind doesn't understand it, but then in a way it's like, yeah, it's like how we receive it is from exchanging the value, right? And how we also spend it is probably by receiving the value, right? And what is value defined by? Value is defined by what our needs are. Value is defined by, what our desires are, what we value, right? And value is also decided or defined by how society views certain things. Like, if there was no value of something, society deemed like there is no value of it, what would that be like? Maybe something is like a rock. They don't see the value of it, even though it has value, but they don't see it or deem it as high. Then they don't put the worth of that thing as high, right? So this is defined by need. It's defined by our own values of what we value. And what comes to my mind is like, receiving is not about just exchange of value in a way. Receiving is also about your own container. What is the size of your container? If your container is already full, can you really receive more in there? And what the analogy that comes to my mind is like the birds flying, using all of their energy and resource, right? Using all of their energy and resource in the day. They don't really care about reserving that energy. They're using it up for their own purposes, but they're using it all up in the day. They're not like, hey, I need this energy for tomorrow, so I'm gonna just preserve it, right? Yeah. So basically, in that sense, a lot of us have very, very full tank, not tank, but how do you, it's not the energetic level, but a lot of us have like holding on to so many things and there is no container, it doesn't have space, right? So it's about expanding the container to receive as well. And because you kind of have to, whatever you receive, you have to put it somewhere. You know, it's not that it's this, you can't eat it right away. It's just like squirrel, this chipmunk squirrel. They kind of forage for food. They find food. They want to save it for later, so they put it in the ground. That's their storage container. You know, Earth is actually their storage container, right? But for us, we actually put it in our energetic container. You know, we put it in our energetic container, we put it in our consciousness is tied to that energetic container, and we can't really receive what we want when the space is kind of full, like just, the container doesn't have space. And doesn't mean it's full or not full, it just means the container is kind of crammed up with a lot of stuff that I don't know if you have received is value yet or not. And what comes to my mind is like a value expires too. A value doesn't stay. It's like a food expiration date. If you have a food for a long time, it expires. It doesn't stay long, right? And sometimes, like that, a lot of things in our life are value for momentarily, but then we want to hold on to it forever or for as long as we could because we operate and we know that there is a scarcity or something, you know. So in that sense, receiving is give and take, flow and exchange. Give and take, flow and exchange, where the container is recycling itself, right? And I guess that's what exactly the money is in a way, is a flow of energy rather than just receiving of the energy. It's like the flow of energy. And what comes to my mind is that if the flow of the energy is the way you like it, you don't mind having that flow of energy. Say if flow of energy is receiving abundance and you're like fulfilled and you're satisfied and you feel happy, you feel, you know, you kind of receive it, you don't have problem with the flow of abundance. But if flow of abundance is more so like my phone, if the flow of abundance is more like you need to do A, B, C, D, E, F before you can receive something, what would you feel? I'm like, no, I don't want that. It's too much work, you know? And I think a lot of people really struggle in that part, that area where it's like, I want to receive it, but then you have to do A, B, C, D, E, F for just receiving something simple as like conditional, you know? Even if you think about love, it's like conditional conditions around it. I wouldn't say conditional, but conditions around it, like A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you receive love. So the frequency of receiving is not about receiving the money itself. Frequency of money is receiving what you actually receive through the money. Through the money is a means, and you're receiving what you're actually receiving through the money as an energy exchange or a tool for energy exchange, right? And yeah, what comes to my awareness is more so about like, you know, really the container has space or not. If the container doesn't have space, it cannot come in. And or it may come in, but then you be like, I don't have space for this. So you kind of like return it back. I'm like, hey, I want it from my heart, I want it. But then when it comes, I energetically I don't have space, and nervous system says no, that's not really safe or that's not what I'm used to. This the patterning of like the mind bodies, like that's not what I'm used to, unfamiliar stuff, right? So there's a lot of talk about money. Let's hone in a little bit more deeply about like, yeah, let's more talk like hone in more so about receiving money, okay? And it is energy exchange. It is energetic value exchange going on with the money. And so a lot of times it's about opening to receive without maybe knowing the how, because we're so accustomed to the how that the how doesn't satisfy us. The how doesn't feel good. The how is like, no, I'm sorry, but I kind of feel saying the word like yucky in a sense like, oh my God, that's a lot of work to do to receive that. And who actually really puts in this whatever rule about this is how you can receive if you do so many things and then you receive this, right? The corporations, right? And who is saying like, okay, well, I better just receive this because nothing else I cannot receive from anywhere else, you know? And who, and in reality, yes, that is the truth that there is in the matrix here. There is not many ways to receive. There's not many, looks like there's like that's what I think now is happening, or people trying to see and kind of expand on this ways of receiving ways of receiving money for their own needs and their own life and their own like whatever they're desiring, money as a means and tool for just a vehicle for support only, not the end. And that's what a lot of people are exploring about right now, because they are not really having fun receiving money through the ways that they have been receiving, which was about hard work, hustle, you know, all that energy that you had to give. So, who is the one who is kind of saying, like, okay, what is the value of whatever my energy is? Whatever energy I want to exchange, what is the value? Who's to determine the value of it? That's you, I guess. Even though well, a lot of people never determine that, like, okay, this is the value, because we kind of had to fit in the mold of what was going on, how we can receive money. And yeah, I really love this talk right now. I feel whoever's watching, I don't think anybody's watching, but anyhow, I can feel energy. That, yeah, people are going to enjoy this talk that I just did because that resonates well with a lot of people about, who is to determine and who made this rule about this and that. And is it receiving about receiving just the outside thing? No. Receiving about is about receiving with your heart, receiving with your energy body and your body too. Receiving is not about just getting means to an end. You know, I think that is another way of level of receiving is which is not money really, but receiving from the heart to your desires. And money was just a means and support for that, but receiving through the heart. And when you open up for the heart, the resources, which is could be money, it could be anything that is, monetarily weighed or not, you can receive it because you're receiving for your desires, you're receiving from the heart. And the resource is the tool, either it's money thoroughly you know defined or monetarily valued or not, it is gonna come. And I feel a lot of people are trying to understand how I can receive openly, more freely, and receive for who I am, and receive for all that I am, rather than receive for just labor or receive for time for money, And this time for money thingy also, whoever invented it, I'm sure in the industrialization kind of invented it, where they had to, you know, products, labor equal to this and that. How many hours of labor equal to how many hours of products, maybe? How many quantity of products? Right? It worked in that time, in that era, right? But what about now? And what also comes to my mind is value and worth of your own value and worth. Maybe it's hard to say the worth word in that connotation, but of your own products and services that you bring, you are offering, that you are bringing to the light, you're bringing to the surface. Also the value of that without society's approval or projection of the value of it yet, because you can't really, if you want to offer a product or service, you really can't really rely on other people's thought on that, because this is really not invented yet. You can compare it with other people who are really, having similar products, but then it's also very, very filtered down from their own consciousness of what exactly it is, not only worth, but their needs, whatever their needs are, whatever they think they can charge. Everything is filtered down from that, right? So it's really who is to determine the value of whatever product and services that you bring out in the world. Who is to determine that, right? That's the question to ask. And who really, what actually really does determine that? It's not our just mind determines it. Hmm. What comes to my also awareness is that mine is that receiving money is just a form of energy, and receiving love is also coming up, where it's money is just a means for you to get to the representation of whatever you're desiring on the outside, right? And in a way, support and yeah, support can be received in so many ways, so many light. How you define support, or what support means for you. So in the hindsight, it's like receiving love, opening to all the abundance that there is, right? And money can be one form, but there could be so many forms, which money is just like a tool for it, not really the end, but the tool for it. And an ally or support, it's the right word, ally, I don't know, but support in that sense, at least in this matrix, in this 3D matrix that we are living in, as a lot of things are very tied into the money realm. And yeah, so it's just receiving. I feel in the end, it's more so about receiving your desires, receiving what you desire in a more open way. And money is just a tool that can come in between and come in ways. But how society has tied the money's worth about, like, oh, money is like everything, like basically a lot of value and worth is given to the money. And yes, a lot of people's life is also tied all into the money, because that's how society is working right now. It's like, you need, high costs and everything. And it's just like maybe we can see what money is providing us and be open and receptive and open to receive what you desire, which can have money in there too, which is a means, right? And be open and receptive to really the bigger picture of what you're actually trying to create or desire. And that is when you tap into that, the resources are just a means. And and if you think about it, you know, the labor cost could be money, or the labor cost could be somebody helping, right? Before it used to be like somebody helping wouldn't be tied into like money exactly, but now it's tied very, very deep into it because everybody needs money. So people don't want to do free labor exchange or whatever labor exchange, so they it's very, very tied into that. But the most important thing that I feel we can understand is like how do we want to exchange the energy as well, because the how we are exchanging the energy also determines our relationship with that energy exchange, and how we are opening to receive what we want to receive also determines how um, the means and support can come in different ways. It doesn't need to be exactly money, but it can be coming in a different ways. And abundance is really a state of being rather than just a state of physical state of what you have, because you can have everything in the world you want, but you may not feel abundant. You may feel even lack. And what came to the call before I came to this call was, I saw in the Yogi Tea message was gratitude is not about what is received, it's about how you receive what is here. It's about how you receive what you receive, right? And we often think that when we have all the things, then we are, then we will feel like safe to receive or safe to explore our dreams and decide, or feel free to do something. But then there will be, if there is not much freedom inside, there will still be a lot of restriction from outside. Maybe it will not be restriction from money, but maybe something else, right? Or something like our limiting belief about what we can have and what we can't have. So yeah, so it's not about what you have, it's about how you receive what you have also, or how you receive what you receive. And a lot to say into that. It's because how we receive could be with, heart is not so open, or how we receive could be heart is so open too. And yeah, and it's really what comes to my mind is when our heart is open, or our frequency is different. When our heart is open or not, but our frequency is different, our energy field, which is our energy field, it will attract the things that are similar to that energy field from outside. That doesn't mean we mentally try to what you call that, try to model our energy field certain way, mentally try to, like, oh, I need to be feeling this, so I'm going to think good thoughts. I don't really go into that route. Like, I'm not into fixing, or what you call it, that mentally trying to, yeah. And it's still effort. It's still like you have to put the effort in it, and you're efforting and efforting and efforting. Rather, we can have it as a more natural being state, and tap in from that state where you can receive for your frequency that is more so natural than like trying to make it some way, right? And yeah, this was a little different channeling. I usually channel from my upper channels. Right now I'm like grounded to the earth and really, really grounded type of channeling, you can say. Um, yeah, I'm like, I can tune into the wisdom and then I can channel from there. But today, I kind of feel like with the topic money, probably it's very good to be grounded with our root chakra and the earth, and and explore this topic in a more uh, physical body grounded way. Because all our needs, most of our needs are in this physical body or physical realms, right? And one of the way we receive the physical needs is through money as well. So it's a lot of work on that physical realm. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share. By the way, I wanted to share that tomorrow I will be having. So the session is going to be. I think that's good for this, topic. By the way, tomorrow I will be having an intuitive guidance wisdom channeling session for in a group in Zoom. And for anybody who is resonating with my style of wisdom channeling, or receive value through this, and you like to have support for any area of your life that you feel there is challenge, or any area of life you just feel to receive support from higher realms, higher self, my higher self and source, and all that jazz, for your any you need support in your personal journey, any area of your life, money, career, anything that is you feel a little bit challenged or stuck in, then you can sign up and come to the event tomorrow. So it's intuitive guidance wisdom channeling event in a group, and you will receive 15 to 20 minutes of individual guidance for your particular question, or whatever you need support with in the group. Even if it's a group, you see 15 to 20 minutes individual guidance, and I made it very affordable. And also, with the group, it made it also reach an affordable price, and for just $16. And I put the link below. Actually, it's in the description. I'll put the link below in the chat section as well. Tomorrow, which is July 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. July 25th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I would love to see you there if you feel called to come there and receive support and guidance. Yeah, and a little bit about me is like I've been in spiritual journey for 6 to 7 years now, and yeah, I received a lot of upgrades, or how you call it, grew a lot from that journey, and it's still going on. As I don't know, it's gonna go on for a long time, obviously, I guess. To whatever journey that I am on, it always expands and evolves. So and I also have some gifts that I'm wanting to share with the other people, and also receive abundantly for that. And so, you know receiving my channels of receiving as well, opening my not receiving opening my channels of receiving as well. So I think that's all. That's good. Hope you receive the wisdom that you wanted, or you receive wisdom from this transmission, intuitive guidance session. And yeah. Okay. Ciao, ciao. Take care. For me, it was kind of fun. Kind of fun. Kind of was little like nervous in a way, because I haven't done many of these, but it was kind of fun. I feel much of the giving is to receive myself, and is to give from there. That's, I feel, is the best way to give and receive as well, where we can only give from our cup. When is we receive in our cup, we can't really give. And that's the best way I can give for people who are on the similar journey like me, for business entrepreneurs, creatives, anybody who's in that realm where they want in a spiritual journey, they want to expand, explore, they want to expand their horizon. That's what I'm into. And at least for this call and for this channel. And okay, much love. Take care. If you receive any insights, aha moments, uh, put in the chat. And I'll also put in the chat the intuitive guidance session that is happening July 25th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Take care.